Okay, this is the last video for this week. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to show you the code. It took me a little bit of finagling because I had forgotten what I've done in the past. So I had to think about this a little bit. And I've made a video and then I trashed a video, and I made a video and I trashed a video and stuff like that. I think it's just as good that I show you exactly what we're looking at. I'm placing a label, and I want to place my label T. I want to place it in the same place. I want to see if I can make all my labels the same size. Now you'll notice I don't have any size farm in my place my label. So I want to make all my labels the same size so it all appears in a nice neat box. I want to start in position X15, which if you know your geometry from I don't know, geometry school, whatever school you went to. Let's look at a whiteboard real quick. This is my Y position, and this is my X position. So if I have a box and I want to build a box inside, or a table inside of it, I have to build them in an X-Y ratio position, because I place my boxes. I do not let Tinker place my boxes. It's just a thing with me. I just don't let Tinker place my boxes. Thus, I have to have a count of the number of items I want in a row, and the number of items I want in a row is 5. So I'll put that as maximum items. And then I'm going to reset my X, which brings me to my left point, and increment my Y, which drops me down 1 row. We're going to run it. And there it is. Ugh, this is not good, because it all bleeds together. It bleeds together because I made my size too big. So we can go back to my T, and instead of 35, we can make it 20. Let's see if that does it. A lot of programming is doing testing, and that looks a little bit better, but let's face it, that's not good either. I'm not real happy with that either. So let's do something a little bit different. Let's cut it down a little more. Instead of 20, we can make it 15. That's better. That's better. And that's all my items in a nice, neat table associated with methods for strings. And I theoretically can go in there and test them all. Now, these are labels. They aren't buttons. We'll translate all this stuff into buttons later on. I couldn't think of a better tool to show you how to do these things than something like this. It's really difficult. We'll minimize this a little bit, and we'll change this from 5 to 9, and we'll run it again. Save, and we'll run it again. Now you notice I didn't close my window, but everything expanded. So my 2 windows can be tested, and I can play with them all that I want to. That's not a big deal to what I'm comfortable at seeing. And that's what you do when you peek and poke around, or place your items where you want them to go. Now, I don't have to have a width equals 15. I can pass it a width parm. WPARM. File, save. That gives it a width parm. And I can go back to my code and look at it. And I can pass it a WPRM, which is, well, I think we said 15. And I'm going to cut this down to 5 again, because I just am. I just like 5 better. And there it is. And it passed my parm, so I'm happy with it. I can close it. And the beauty behind this is this program offers much more utility. I can now have a 5 here. And instead of methods for strings, methods for integers. Voila, methods for integers. I can have a list. Doesn't matter how long the list is. This could be really long, could be really short. Methods for lists. And there it is. Now, this doesn't tell you a lot other than these are the methods that are associated with lists that you can do. But what it does do is gives you the opportunity to have an item in your toolbox that gives you what they call utility in programming, because now you can just go in there and change that and it'll present you with a window that does something. Prettify something. You know, prettifying something is really, really interesting. It's been my experience that you do things until you like what you're looking at, period. Changing a font looks cooler is always a nice thing to do. Making your buttons change color when you as an indicator when you press them. We haven't done buttons yet, but we will next week. Overall GUI management. GUI management means, gee golly gosh Gomer, I happen to like this scenario right now, but what if I had 8,000 buttons out there or 8,000 labels and they wouldn't fit on a screen? How am I going to manage that? We're going to get into that as we move along. Those are the things we're looking at. This is called background. I don't care what anybody says, this is background processing. This sets things up for you so that you can use it. You'll notice I could use T anywhere I want to just by passing the parm. And I've changed things a little bit. I can also pass a new font if I want a new font. There's a lot of things you can do, but you have to be willing to try them. And with that, I'm going to let you go because I've done talk to myself blue today, and I'm done. I'm done with week 2. I hope you pick something up.